Hey y'all, what's up? What's up, y'all? Um, we are going to be discussing is the future female due to men's morality. Um, this video is it may be somewhat offensive to some people, mostly men, or you may not agree, or you may agree. It's just an opinion. So we're going to be talking about because I've seen a lot of merchandise while shopping that says the future is female. And I'm like, why are they putting out cups, mugs, notebooks, t-shirts that say the future is female? Why are they doing this? I don't know. So I kind of figured that if you just step back and really listen to what people are saying, it may be true. And the reason why is because you have even men saying this in some sort of way. They're saying, oh, there's more men than there are women. Or, how are you going to find a man if um, you outnumber us? We're the prize because we're less. Are you really the prize if you're less? Like, I don't know why men feel as if um, being less populated on Earth as the male gender is a good thing. I don't think they really sat and thought that out. You said, are we switching back to matriarchy? I mean, I don't see a reason why we have to switch back to either or. I feel that if patriarchy was working, it would not be in danger. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that, first of all, patriarchy, represents like father or having a father or being ruled by the father. And since there's less fathers ruling anything, then naturally it goes back to matriarchy. So in many households, women actually rule. So it's more of a patriarchal household rather than a patriarchal world. But if the woman rules the man in the home and the man goes out into the world, then the woman really rules the man who thinks he rules the world. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that patriarchy was somewhat of a lie. And many people try to make this lie come true, but it could never really have happened. It's almost as if it's like, okay, men do this, men do that, but if they're not happy at home, if they have a wife or a girlfriend or a baby mom, whatever, and that woman starts giving them trouble, then their foundation or whatever that they're doing could be in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? So women really have, the strength to create or destroy. And that's why I feel that saying that the future is female is really true, because I feel that a lot of men now realize this. And that's why a lot of men are a little bit nervous or afraid to get into a deep or serious relationship with a woman, or married, or whatever, or don't want to date a woman who's all about their money or whatever. But you have to also realize, like, men, they're easily ruled over when they don't have a lot to offer a woman. So a lot of men say, okay, I'm going to go my own way, but then they never do. So that's why I'm saying the future is probably going to be female, because of men's morality. A lot of men see that it's easier for women in some, in some ways, and so a lot of men tend to want to be a woman or live through a woman's, guise almost because they feel that it's easier to be a woman or they want to see how women think. Women don't have this need to rule because they already do rule. So it's kind of like the future has always been female and so has the past. It's just people were kind of fooled for so long as to what the roles were. So so hey y'all, I have made it so that people that have been subscribed 2 years can comment this time instead of 3. So, but you'll be able to comment in the regular permanent comments whenever you feel like it, no matter how long you've been subscribed. So don't feel like you can't say anything. Um, you said we think we'll be androgynous. I don't even think we'll be androgynous. Like I used to think that, but now I feel that the feminine look is so powerful. Why would you want to be androgynous? The only person that the masculine look is well, but you see more people gearing towards the feminine look, you know. So I don't feel that there'll be much androgyny. I feel like there'll be more feminine looks. And if a man decides to look feminine, then he would be described as androgynous. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's still paying homage to the female. At the same time, it's honoring the female. And a lot of people don't feel that way. Like when a man is dressed as a woman, it's not uh, because they want it to be a woman. Maybe they did, I don't know. Or they're just honoring the divine feminine. Whether they know it or not, it doesn't matter if that's what they're doing. You know. Yeah. So the future is female, so was the past, and so is the present. It was never patriarchal to begin with. But brainwashing and creating advertisements and structures and systems can give you the illusion of a patriarchal society, but the reality is it's always been ran by the woman, always. So, I mean, if you everywhere you look, there's statues of goddesses, there's homages to societies that were matriarchal. So we already know this. There's no need to argue anymore. We know women are the first and the last and the ones who run everything. We know this. And no matter what, that's how it always will be. If a woman chooses to allow a man to do whatever they need to do to feel as if they are in a position of power, then that's her choice. Maybe she wants to sit back, relax, enjoy her life, and allow the man to, provide for her and do things like that. So I feel many men got that part twisted and felt like, oh, they had somewhere else to run to and go, but never have they ever escaped. You know what I'm saying? Like it follows you. But it may be good or bad, but men will definitely learn and maybe they'll do right and maybe the future will be more tolerable for men and women. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I'm better than you or da da da. I'm not saying that to say women are better than men. I'm just saying naturally you can't have a man without a woman. Like you cannot start something without the woman's body, the woman's anatomy. There's nothing that can be created or done. So when you really feel that men are in charge, men are this or men are that, it's not, it's just a fantasy. It's not real. So as women, we have to know this and we have to act that way. You don't always have to talk and say those words. You just have to know that within so you don't have to feel as if some man has any authority or power to change how you operate, to change how you think, to change how you feel, to change how you create your own life, to change your values or what you actually want in your life. They don't have that power. But you as a woman may have that power for yourself, for your family, and maybe for that man if you are connected to him in some way. So that's why I feel that women really need to know their true place, their true power, and their true, I guess, what you just their truth. So having a female future is no different than today. I feel that the reason that the population has increased um, is because a lot of women are taking better care of themselves. They found easier ways to sustain themselves. They're not having to work as hard as they used to. Maybe they're working smarter instead of harder. And they're living longer, and more babies are being born as female as well. A lot of there's scientific ways to actually create the sex of your baby if you got enough money. So, mhm. And naturally, if there are less fathers staying with their families, um, the need for male role models decrease. And so the need for this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact. In my opinion, the need for male role models decrease, and more females are born because if the father is not in that environment, then the mother can actually raise the daughter and not have to worry about, oh, do I need a male role model for my son? Because there's going to be less men being born because of evolution or mental, like, oh, I hope it's a girl, I hope it's a girl, of more women wanting girls rather than boys because of maybe some type of disappointment that they've experienced or whatever. So it all depends on what the female is actually wanting, what evolution is actually doing, how long the man plans on sticking around, da da da. Da. I think everything has its place and unfolds naturally due to like whatever circumstance is being presented. So that's what I say. If you look at a large family, like back in the old days, they used to have about 10 to 12 kids because, like, especially in the South, because they had land and they needed the kids to work to bring in the money. Back in the old days, like grandparents' days, out of all those kids, most of the children were probably women. If you really, look at old large families, most of the kids were female. So um, it's also due to like men can impregnate several women at the same time, while women can only have a few kids if they have twins or triplets from one man at the same time. So it also depends on how much the men spread their seed. So the men are spreading their seed more and more these days. So there's a need for less men. You see? So the more men spread their seed to different women, the less men need to be produced. You see how it works? It's kind of like scientific as if there's some type of balance that's keeping a balance. So if you got like 10 baby mamas, then less men need to be here because you're doing the work of 5 men as a male. You're taking on that job, but you're not fulfilling the role of the father. So there's less men being born because there's more men impregnating women, different women, rather than several men impregnating several women. So we have one man with 5 baby mamas versus 5 men with 1 baby mama or wife. So therefore, and in those relationships, they might go out and cheat a couple times. It may not result in childbearing, but if you're doing the work of 10 men, then less men population need to happen. Okay, so y'all, I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. That's just my opinion. my opinion. Yeah, we don't need too many more men because we got this one over here populating half of the county. So it would make sense scientifically. Um, and so when you do find one of those quote unquote men who have um, some type of value because there's less men, the ones that think that, oh, men are going to be more valuable because there's less men than women. But how many baby mamas do you have? Or how many children do you have outside of wedlock? How many? How many? And if you have none, how many do you plan on creating or making or having in your future? hmm So I'm reading some of these comments. Yes, and so if the female population is increasing, what does that mean? Or is it staying the same? I'm not even sure if it's increasing or staying the same, and just the male population is decreasing. But I can talk about both. So if the female population is increasing, how is that being balanced? Is it because there's more need for mothers, more need for partners, for men because they're not only just satisfied with one? What is that? Because can they afford that? Can men afford more than one woman? Is it going to backfire on them financially? Are men decreasing in population because they're unable to take care of themselves? We don't know. But at the same time, we all know that there is some type of confusion between women and men, especially in this era. I was looking through Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, and I'm looking at all, and I'm not trying to down anyone because I'm not here to judge anyone and how they've been raised, what they've been told, how they've been lied to, because we've all been lied to. I see, and it's probably just the age. It's probably, you don't see old people doing this, and you don't see super young people doing it. So it's just probably the age range of people that are, looking for life partners or whatever. They're presenting themselves in a way that makes the man and the woman only look for certain things. So they're looking. The men are seeing the women as objects, sexual objects, and the women are seeing the men as money. And that's what we have come to. And that's why I made my channel to talk about that. If men only see women as sexual objects, then women are definitely only going to see men as money until their role has to change, which means until their role comes to a crossroad and it's either you turn into this or I turn a separate way, or you turn a separate way. So it's all about how we present ourselves. Now, presentation and looks have nothing to do with what else is being done. So you can look like the nicest person in the world, but go out and do the worst thing. That has nothing to do with it. It's how you're presenting yourself to mass amounts of people and how they feel and think they can treat other women who remind them of you. Okay, so it's kind of like that. Even if they see a woman that may not present herself like that in the public, they still may treat her that way because that's all that they see. So maybe toning down the level of thirst online on social media may be helpful. As well as turning down the amount of false advertising that men do as far as how much money they have online. And women, we already know since the beginning of time, women have used cosmetics, wigs, and hair. So that's nothing new. Men already know that comes with the territory. They already know this. That's a given. And yeah, so I don't see a reason to change anything there, unless they want to be looking at masculine looking women or plain looking women, that they will probably less likely want to stay with long term in public when there's other women walking around with hair and makeup. So, what I'm saying is, I do support hair, makeup, cosmetics, and things like that because that is what makes you more, I don't want to say feminine, but I want to say more, I don't even want to use the word divine, more who you are, more of who you are. There you go. Mhm. If that's who you want to be. Um, People don't tell the, okay, y'all talking about weather. Yeah, because men are visual creatures. They're not like women. So you have to capture their attention with the eye. Okay. So, and it also gives the woman the feeling that she's looks a certain way and therefore will act the same way that she looks. Yes, you said hair and makeup separate us further from masculinity. That's so true. Because think about this. If a man wants to be more feminine, what does he do? Get some hair and get some makeup. So, they can't say, oh, you don't need to wear that, da 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 da. But as soon as a man wants to become more feminine, what does he do? Run to the makeup and the hair and the nails and all that kind of stuff. So obviously it does separate. That's a good point. It does separate the masculine from the feminine. and if more men are, switching their gender identity to female or androgynous or whatever, the male population decreases even more due to re-identifying their genders. And I feel that there's more men who do that than there are female, because to say I am female is more empowering in this day, I believe. So, mm, and it's not like women get up and go out and beat their chest or say I am the best thing ever. Women still go and do their daily tasks, do what they do, still look good, still try to make it work in relationships, da, da, da. They don't go around trying to rule the entire earth or planet or world because they already do. So that's already scratched off of our list. We don't need to prove ourselves. When you already have everything, then you look for the little small things or the things that you don't have to, experience. So men are still looking for power. Men are still looking to rule somebody. Men are still looking for something. And most women are just already mostly, you know, content because maybe they know, maybe they don't know, but we already rule the world. And so it's like, now what? And men still don't feel that they rule the world. That's why they keep trying to take over different countries, trying to rule over this, trying to oppress this people, trying to do that, because they don't really rule anything. They're just playing. They're playing make believe. But most people already know this, who fully understand that patriarchal society is an illusion. So the female future, past, and present has always been. It's just that the illusion or the veil of patriarchy has been pulled over because it's their desire, but they can't ever really feel fulfilled as if they have everything because they never did. So that feeling of greed and lust and all those things grow because they're trying to have something that they can never have unless they are female. So that's why I feel that the future is female and that a lot of men want to secretly rule and take advantage of women so that they can feel as if they've accomplished something. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, if we were in the other position, we might feel the same way too. So I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying perhaps that illusion of male patriarchy is what kept a lot of people content or at least striving with purpose, since a lot of the men's purpose is no longer their woman, which it should be. Back in the old days, a man's purpose was to provide and feed his family and make sure that they was happy, and then they would all in return, be like, oh, thank you for doing all these things for us, let's go do this, let's go do that, and everybody would be content and happy and da da da. The man was built stronger with more muscle mass and bigger to be able to handle the physical tasks that it took to provide and protect back in the day. Now things are more technical. Not everything, but a lot of things are more technical now. So less muscle is required. And so the next type of muscle would be your mind. So you have to increase your intelligence and how you think, and working smarter rather than harder now is more masculine as well. But if you don't need the big muscles and the large body and the stamina to do the job anymore, then a woman could actually step in and do that job now. And then men's role in their place in the world starts to decrease because of that particular technology that allows women to now do the same type of work as men. And since women are naturally more creative, um, she has more options to create different ways of doing this technological work. So it's almost as if every time you try to advance past a woman, it's like taking a step back instead. So you really need to realize that your true power as a woman is already there. You don't need to seek it. You already got it. And it's another reason why men seek so many women, because they're subconsciously seeking power. When they can't seek power and money in their life, they simply seek women because it's the same thing. Okay? So subconsciously, they're not seeking, to build a business or empire. They're not seeking to work. They're not seeking a job. They're not seeking to be a homeowner. They're seeking women all day. That's because that's another form of power. So either way, they're still seeking power, whether they realize it or not. If I were a man, I'd rather seek the other type of power so that I could at least get the attention of the woman and have double the power. Double the power that I had before. Even though the woman still has the power, I would still have more than somebody else that was only seeking one. Now, if you're going to take advantage of this power, okay, if you take advantage of this power as a man, and you try to take advantage of a woman and, maybe some type of situation that has to do with money, that's also seen as greed. It's also seen as, messing with, divine order and power. And so usually in your subconscious mind, that also may have an effect on your life. So men also need to be careful of trying to take advantage or mistreat and do things like that to women, especially because you're not in your full consciousness when you are seeking women and not knowing that you're truly seeking power from a woman. Okay? So make sure you know that. You say you notice Dusty's only care about getting women, they have no other goals or aspirations, right? Because that's the lowest form of accomplishing anything if they can go get a woman. That's an accomplishment. Like if they don't have any goals to accomplish anything in their life as far as success, business, whatever, then they go try to conquer or succeed with a woman instead. And even if they don't do that correctly, maybe they'll say, okay, well, I conquered her, or I got her, or now what's next? It's because they're never fulfilled because the woman still has her power, whether she knows it or not. And that's why a lot of women get on my channel and are like, well, what do you do when a man took your self-esteem and you feel powerless? Well, then you need to wake up and realize who really has the power and who never lost it and who always will have it. That's called patriarchal um, illusion. Okay. So you will always have it. You will always have it. No one can take it from you, ever. You know why? Because it was never theirs to begin with, and they've never had it in the first place. And they never get it in the future, and they don't have it in the present. So how could it be taken? It's just weird that people feel that something could be taken. It's like almost an illusion that it's kind of like wearing glasses on the top of your head while you're looking for them. You still got them glasses, girl. They on your head or on your face, and you forgot you had them on. So, and I know a lot of people will say, well, you can't feel like that. And well, no, you're not supposed to walk around, you know, well, they do make t-shirts now. The female is future, da, da, da. But you're not supposed to walk around just flaunting that. If it's already known within, that's power seeking when you do that, you know. So we already know, so we don't have to flaunt it. We never did, and we never will. When you flaunt something, it's to get the attention to say that you have something that you did not have or can lose or have to keep continuously keeping up, or trying to get or trying to keep. If you already have something, you don't flaunt it. That's like someone flaunting around an ear. You was born with an ear, you got an ear, you're not really worried about your ear. It's an ear. You ain't sitting there flaunting your ear. Like putting a highlighter and stuff on it unless you got a prosthetic ear. I don't know. But it's almost like that. And you already have something. You don't need to flaunt it. It's just normal. Many women are not aware of their power. And when someone comes along and reminds them of their power, men's illusional patriarchy get a little upset because it's taking away that illusion. Okay. So that's why a lot of people feel a certain way about certain messages because they feel as if their illusion is going to be disrupted. Hmm. You said a part of you wants a great man, but by your side, but you never really met one. So you sadly giving up. Oh. You know what? The funny thing is, you're a woman, and a man has never impressed. A man has never deserved your power or to be in the presence of your power. Let's just say that. The man has not been worthy to stand your power. We'll say that. Subconsciously, men secretly know in the back of their mind, whether they're aware of it or not, that they will never live up to your power or your whatever. So they may try, they may do the correct thing, they may stick around, they may do that, they may do this, and because they feel as if they are worthy. Some may be seeking your power just to say that they can get it and go get other power at the same time, but they can never keep your power because they don't have you. This is why a lot of people, or especially men, try to impregnate women to try to keep some type of power with them. But still, it doesn't work because they're never really going to get to experience the fullness of that power unless they do the correct things. So men always seek power or something like that, but they never really get to experience it fully because they never, not all men. Some men will, because they're doing the right things. But a lot of men who are doing the wrong things will never get to experience the feeling of being satisfied with some type of power, or feeling as if they do have the power in the first place. To have power, you got to have a woman on your team that allows you to feel as if you are able to. I'm trying to find the right word. That she's giving you all her blessings and all of her approval, as if you are, using her power for your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes they end up being jealous of our womb power. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? Every system works from the feminine. If you want to get, every system works from the feminine. Cycles and things like that. So we got to know that is our power. Now, I want to get into the way that men try to copy our power, but I think we can figure that out. And it just really never gets done the correct way. And still, even through all of that, it has to come straight back. It has to come back through the woman always. You said plumbing and electrical is feminine. So it's been like this for a long, 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 long time. And I feel like instead of trying to always steal power, control power, seek power, to just allow power to be what it is supposed to be. And if power was given to a certain group, then maybe that's who it's supposed to be with. Sorry. Yeah. If power was given to a certain group, that's who it's supposed to stay with. I don't know what to say. So that's that. Anyway. Of course, people are always going to try to steal it or make you believe that you don't have it and all this kind of stuff, and that's all psychological and whatever. But you can't fool the person that knows the truth and know who they really are. If you feel powerful inside as a woman, then that's what it is on the outside as well, and everywhere else. So women know their true power, I think, mostly when they come of age to where they can get men to act silly over them. If they ever give birth, that's a very powerful thing. Their position in the family, very powerful, because everyone tends to go to the woman instead of the man, always. Ask some kids, like they always go to mom instead of dad most of the time. Mom, what? Go ask your daddy, he's right over there. So kids literally know. Teenagers know. And men know when they seek to overpower a woman or suppress them. Like, why do you think that women's rights are suppressed for the longest on the globe? I mean, in some parts of the world, women are still oppressed. Why? Because you don't oppress people that you don't fear. You don't oppress people that have less power than you. I mean, what will be the point? So, but they say the longer, like I already know, that's why some of the most destructive goddesses are not, some of the most destructive goddesses look like the women who are the most oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look in the ancient goddesses of, India and parts of Africa and South America, the destructive goddesses look like the women who are the most oppressed. So, and destruction, you need power to do that. And if you're a woman and you're a creation and a creator and also a destroyer, then what is that? What does that make you? Of course, men can destroy all day and all night, but they can't create. That's the difference, and that's the power. So, fear, seeking of power, greed, wanting to oppress women, not wanting to play their role on the planet as the provider and protector of women is decreasing population in the masculine. So the female could definitely be future, or the future could definitely be female. Why do I think some women throw their power away when they like a guy? The illusion. That's the true allure. The illusion that the man could have the power. And that's when they go for it. But then when the woman remembers who they are, they quickly lose that power. The men quickly lose that power that they thought that they had, that they never had. It's just an illusion. So that's why I feel that when people are quote unquote doing a crime of passion, a lot of time the judge, considers that and say, oh, you were not in your right mind because you were quote unquote in love or in passion or whatever, because you're in an illusion. You fool them and then you fool yourself. And when you fool yourself, you may do things that are out of character of being this powerful person or being. So when you remember, like, oh yeah, I forgot I run this, then their illusion shatters. And when their illusion shatters, it's like a wake-up call, like, dang, I don't have any more power. What do I do now? And then they go seek it somewhere else to start it all over again. And so I think the purpose is to never forget that you have this power. And I think that's why I wrote my books. I Bring Nothing to the Table, The Wisdom of SheRaSeven, among other books, because women forgot their power, and we live in an illusion of a male patriarchal society that does not exist. Okay? And people wonder why, and they hate rejection. Exactly. Why would some all-powerful patriarchal society have members that hate rejection? Like, you can't reject the most powerful. They reject you. So another reason for having rejection issues is because they don't have power. If someone talks about you and says some mean things or whatever, and you react to it because you're upset, it's because you don't have the power. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when people ask me, oh, do I care about what people say? I could care less. I'm powerful. I have to prove nothing to no one. Why? Because I already am. And so this is how we have to think. This is how we have to live. This is how we have to always know our power and teach it to your children, teach it to your daughters. Now, and I know a lot of you women have sons, and you're like, well, how do I teach this to a man? Will they believe me? Will they get mad? Will they want to seek power just so they can try to take it? I don't have boys. I don't have sons. If I did, the only way I would teach them this would be um, showing them examples of great men who have greater women, or I don't even want to say great, powerful. And when I say powerful, I don't mean powerful like a man. I mean just powerful in their own way. Women have different types of power. Some women have financial power. Some women have both. Some women have beauty as their power. Some women have allure. Some women have, different skills as their power. Um, some women have lots of different skills and can do a lot of different things. So whatever attracts a man to a woman, that's probably where most of her power is, or a lot of it is. And I'm not saying that women don't have more than one type of power. I'm saying that's one of the ones that men recognize the most. Hmm. Yeah, showing them remember the time video. Exactly. Um, yes. Show them remember the time video. You said they need to learn how to share power. And for a woman to share herself, her body, her whatever with a man, she must also trust or know her true power and don't feel like losing that man has anything to do with her power, you know? So there's different types of women. There's women that, well, I need to trust you. I need you to do this, this, and this, and this before I can share my power with you. And then there's women that are like, I'll do whatever you need, whatever, whatever, whatever. You can never really take my power because I've always had it. And if you think you did, joke's on you. It's an illusion. So, there's different types of women. So whichever type of woman you are, if you're the type of woman who needs a man to prove himself to you, or you can be both types. It just depends on where you are in your life and what your power is looking like at the time of your life, because power changes throughout a woman's life. Like when you're young, your power is more geared towards beauty, allure, da da da. When you're older, it's geared more towards family, not matriarchy, finance, da da da. And it changes as you get older. So whatever age you're at is probably you're gonna have to gauge your power with whatever you're doing at this time. It's not going to be the same for everybody at the same time. You said we give away our power by seeking approval. Exactly. And remember, sometimes things are just an illusion. It's not always what it is, because you can't seek approval if you are the power. It's the illusion of seeking approval. Remember that. So it's almost like this. It's almost like your boss seeking approval from someone he just hired yesterday, even though he be signing the paychecks and stuff and telling you what to do. That makes no sense. Unless that person is a woman and he's attracted to her because of her power. That's the only way it'll make sense. Or vice versa. The illusion of power. If the boss is a female and she's attracted to the employee, that's the illusion. But the other way around is not the illusion. And you can tell because it happens more often that a girl or female will definitely be more, the boss will seek approval from female employees more than a female boss will seek approval from male employees, because that's where the true power is, with the woman. I know it's kind of deep, but it may help some people remember who they are. Should we care what they say if they are going to financially take care of the household? Say to who? Say to us or other people? because you can always say something right back. If they're talking to other people about you, it doesn't matter because those other people have no power over you either. It's just their way of venting and feeling as if they're less powerless. So it doesn't matter. Why do you feel powerless around women more than men? Because women have power. Some women have more power than other women, but we all have power. It's how we use that power and how much more skills we have to use that power through. So you can go on social media, you can go on YouTube and just click on 10 different women's videos. They're all going to be dynamically different. They're all going to have different types of power. And so a lot of women who don't have as many outlets for their power may feel less powerful around other women who have several outlets for their power. So just maybe work on yourself and creating more outlets for power if you feel powerless or less powerful around women. Okay. Hold on a second. The chat is full of classy warmer. Oh. I also think that, we as powerful beings, are also, we also, have children. And some of those children are female and are also powerful beings. And a lot of times, and especially in an illusional patriarchal society, a lot of times the illusion and the brainwashing of being powerless as a woman starts early in your, cartoons in school, in songs for children, nursery rhymes, and things like that. So be aware of that because it does subconsciously seek in that you as a woman is powerless. There are some cartoons and movies and things that tell you that you are powerful and powerless at the same time. And it allows you to make that subliminal choice, which one to believe or how you feel about yourself at that time is probably the direction you're going to go in. Are you going to go into the illusion or your truth? So you'll have, like, let's just take an example, like a Cinderella story. You'll have someone that is powerless in a group of other females, but then is the most powerful over a man, getting that prince, right? Then she gets to move to the castle. The prince sought her out, looking for women throughout the village with this particular woman's power. And when they finally found Cinderella and the shoe fit, she went, got married, and that was that. Now she had all the power. She knew she had the power. He knew she had the power. And the stepsisters and the stepmother were less powerful. So it's all a power struggle. And what you know about your power is how your life unfolds. So a lot of women are like, they've been programmed to feel powerless. This is why, and I know I always refer to movies and stuff like that, but a lot of people have seen movies so they can relate. This is why in the movie The Matrix, Neo had to go see the Oracle. The lady that made some cookies or whatever in the kitchen. That's why he had to go see the Oracle first, because then he had a choice to take the illusion or know who had the real power. And in the Matrix, he sacrificed himself for the true power, which was Trinity, the woman. I know he the one because he gonna die for you, Trinity. Okay. my old Evelyn Sprinkle Sprinkle, you done got your membership right. You done leveled up to number 2. Wonderful. Oh, that's so sweet. So, all I'm saying is, they know the true power. But sometimes the illusion gets in the way of recognizing that power. And men forget. They forget. That's when stuff starts going wrong. The unnecessary battles. And then they end up fighting each other for power that neither one has. Men end up fighting each other and none of them got the power. They just look dumb. Like, okay, y'all go ahead. Y'all fight each other. But you can't fight someone that already has power because they don't need to prove themselves. You can try to create the illusion, but you can't ever take someone's power because it was never given out. It's never been given out, so it can't be taken. You said, what? Why do people want to compete with people for power who don't want to compete? It's like they want to compete more. Why? Because, like I said, one who does not have power or one who is under the illusion that they don't have power wants to prove that they have the power. And so once the illusion is lifted or once they realize who has the true power, then they just stop. They're just like, we're done. There's no need to fight. That was done. And so when the fight is over, when people stop competing and they just allow the power to be where it's at, where it's always been, where it always will remain, then they can move on to something else more useful, doing more useful things. You said people try to only control what they fear or what they don't understand or what they have trouble understanding. And I guess understanding something is also having some type of fear as well. Men just ask you to be submissive slave. That's role play because it's an illusion. They want to switch roles with you. Even though we don't treat men like that. Some men subconsciously want to treat us like that because they feel that that's what they are. But they're looking at it the wrong way. Men are not our slaves. Men are not submissive to women. They are, let's see. We could argue that legs are submissive to our torso. And they do more work than maybe our arm. Because they have to walk, stand, do all this stuff. The legs ain't mad at our arm. It's just the position. The legs don't feel as if they're slaves. They are part of the body that's supposed to function in a certain way. They're in a position for a specific job. That's it. And if you don't like being a leg, then maybe next lifetime you'll be born into a woman and you could be a boob. I don't know. You could be a vagina. Who knows? But at the same time, if whatever you were born as, whatever role you are in society, if you don't like that role because it doesn't have enough power for you, then this is why we have this issue. But see, if a woman is watching, like when a man watches a woman walk and he see her legs, he's like, "Ooh, them legs look good." It just depends on your perspective. Most women are not going to see a man as her slave. They're going to say, "Ooh, look at my man. he out there doing, all this stuff for me, all da, 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 da. So men may feel that way, but women don't feel that way unless the man is trying to take their power. And then the woman starts to wake up and see them as what they truly are. So when men stop trying to take a woman's power, and talk down to her, or say things to her, she's not going to see those, from that perspective. She's not going to see a man as a slave until he starts acting like one. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. There's no way to say, okay, well, this planet wants to be that planet. So how you gonna do that? Scientifically, the only way for that planet to become that planet is for them to crash together and become one, which would mean to have a child. Duh. And then now you have this new planet and that crash together. And usually when they name planets, especially Earth, it's Mother Earth. Still a woman. Most of the planets that are named for women, goddesses, have some form of life on it. Even if it's microscopic. Mm-hmm. Female-led relationships are my preference. I still use all the guides you gave, which in theory fits into genocracy and nature. Okay. There's a way to be masculine and allow the female to lead the relationship without it looking like she leads. Y'all are gonna laugh, but one of the good examples of this type of relationship is the Addams family. Morticia Addams and Gomez. I was watching the Addams family last night. Their relationship dynamic, we know she got all the power. I mean, obviously. But he also feels powerful with all the things that he does, his hobbies, how he dresses, his ability to please his woman, da da da. He's seen as the head of the household, even though she holds all the power. And her mother lives there, which is the matriarchal leader, even though she doesn't look like she has much power at all. She's still there and she's the oldest with the most knowledge. But it's the men that look the most powerful because the women allow them to do so, because the women want to remain in their feminine and they don't take anything from the masculine. You said bewitched. Exactly. So it's our choice depending on how the man acts towards us. If he's trying to take something, then we have to show him that they can't take that. But if they're not trying to take anything, but if they're trying to add to us and please us and do the right things, there's no need for us to try to remind them who we are. Just, they don't need the reminder. It's just done. They already know. And that's the way that things are most peaceful, is if they just know that. They don't have, like, you got, like, the Addams family is the perfect example, because you got some crazy witch grandmother, and then a mortician, vampire, I don't know, she was, whatever she was, mortician, witch, vampire, all of those things combined, mortician, whatever she was. She could put a hex on you, a spell on you, kill you, and bury your body, and nobody else would be able to find you, right? So that man or Gomez, he did not fear that woman. He didn't fear her power. He probably thought it was, cool. And so there was no need for him to want it, because if he needed it, he had access to it because she was willing to help give it to him if needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know. So that's why I feel like that dynamic of that relationship was a really good example of a man not losing his masculinity while being with a very powerful woman that did not have to prove her power. You said trust was important, right? They were very, lovey-dovey. So, and they were not as, like, another thing, like, they weren't so controlling over their children. They allowed their children to be who they were. They weren't trying to mold them into something society wanted them to be. They allowed them to experience their power as whatever beings that they were. So that's why I liked the Addams Family when I was growing up, because it was like a really good example. Even though it doesn't seem like it would be a good example, it is, because the woman and her power did not have to flex for the man to also be masculine and seen as head of household. Even though the head of household was already there, the illusion was also in place at the same time as the power dynamic. So there was a cross between illusion and the true power. So that's why I say women secretly run the world. Men just look like they do. And we have no problem with that, especially if you're a powerful woman and you don't have to flaunt your power, because your man knows it and does not have to take advantage of it. You realized, okay. You love Morticia and Gomez's relationship? Okay. Did I say Morticia? That used to be my nickname in high school, y'all. Morticia. It's actually funny. So Kim, thanks, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Appreciate that. Who cares about ruling over Earth? I'm trying to rule the next realm. Well, Earths have different realms. So you can't rule a different realm if you can't rule this realm. You can't rule in another realm. That's why you love the Addams Family. So since I watched it last night, I'll just go, like, when they were kicked out of their home by Fester and they had to go live in this little cheap motel. Gomez went into like couch potato mode and started feeling sorry for himself because he had lost his sense of being head of the household. The women are the ones, or Morticia and her mama and Wednesday are the ones, and Pugsley, of course, because he was a child, he had to do whatever mom say, are the ones that had to get out and go get jobs. She ended up reading stories to little kids at a preschool, and they making them feel sorry for the witch and the story of Hansel and Gretel. And then the old lady witch was outside catching roadkill to cook. So she was out there doing the man's job. And Wednesday and Pugsley were, selling lemonade, if that's what you want to call it. And Gomez was sitting up there watching talk shows and stuff. So the only thing that got him up off his booty was when Morticia went back to the house and they were torturing her. And, the little hand had to go and tell Gomez that she was in danger. So he got up, put his clothes on, and went to go try to save her, because that was his reason for living. That was his purpose. So took all the riches away, took all, the mansion and all that stuff away, his money. He did not have a purpose for living unless it was to protect and, please his woman. That's the only thing that got him right back up. So with like that's a man's purpose. If he is not doing that, a lot of times if a woman is not giving a man her approval, and if the man doesn't feel like he's providing and protecting and has his woman's approval, he's going to go seek it elsewhere because he has no purpose. And if you can't do this if you can't please and do this for your woman because she is not impressed by your efforts, that means you either need to up your efforts in some type of way. And that's it. Or go find someone else that you don't have to impress as much, someone less powerful. Now, men always forget, like if you got to downgrade your woman, if you got to go and find a woman less than the woman that you're with, it's because you're seeking less power now. And the woman that you have has either gotten more powerful and you're not seeking that much power anymore. So some men grow as well and some men don't. And so, I mean, if a lot of men are like satisfied with certain level of power and that's all that they need and seek, then it's probably why a lot of men tend to leave or go seek other women that are less powerful than the one that they had before. And I'm not saying power as far as money, or it could be looks, it could be intelligence, it could be money, it could be whatever, all of that combined. But whatever it is, that's why a lot of people tend to stray. Yeah. Okay. Give him his power, keep yours. I don't know if that's like he doesn't have the power. Like men, I'm not saying men don't have power. What I'm saying is the woman has all the power she needs, basically. And when the man steps in, the only thing that he can do for this woman is protect her power so that when the family needs it, it's there. When he needs it, it's there. Not overworked, not too tired, not this, not that. But it's there, it's preserved. So a man can preserve a woman's power. When a man tries to take it or misuse it or create an illusion that she doesn't have any, that's when stuff goes wrong. So the woman has the power. The man is supposed to protect that power and preserve it and allow it to grow so that he has access to that power when the woman decides or when the woman shares her power with the deserving man who is meeting her standards. That's it. Now, power can come in different forms in exchange. Like, for example, if a woman looks a certain way and she attracts a man with money, her power is her looks. And the way to preserve those looks and to feel powerful as a man is to have a woman who is attractive, right? It shows, oh, I've accomplished things in life. This is the kind of woman I can preserve and provide for. Her power is allure, beauty, and maybe she has brains. Maybe she started a business. This is her power. So this is why I say women have the power and men want the access. So let's just say, okay, men, they feel powerful because they can earn money. Women can earn money too. What else do you have? Men feel powerful because they're strong. We have mechanical machines and devices now that can lift more than a man. So now what? Will men feel as if, They're the natural companion of a woman and da 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 da. Great. There's men who can be your friend. There's coworkers. There's fathers, brothers, cousins. Well, what about sex? Okay, that's procreation. That's to create children. What if you make a child? Are you going to be the father of that child? Your role is going to change. Your power position is going to change. Do you really want to go there? So it's almost as if the men are under the illusion that they actually have the power, when as soon as they get money, as soon as they get position, as soon as they get a new car, what do they go do? Show it to a woman. Unless they are gay, they have a feminine aspect about themselves, or they seek a feminine man. If they're a masculine man, I don't know. There's something that is still remotely, looking for the feminine in something, some form or fashion, becoming the feminine vessel in some form or fashion. The whole point is that they're seeking power, even if it's under an illusion. Yeah, gay men want a lot of gay men are still using a feminine portal, feminine-like portal. You know what I'm saying? Because if they did not desire the feminine, they would not need to use a portal or an orifice to impersonate a feminine organ. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not talking down to anyone. I'm not being homophobic. I'm just saying, when you really break it down, that's what it is. Okay? And if you can psychologically, subconsciously, say, okay, that's why. You say you can go on Amazon and spend $20 to do the do. We are. Power struggle keep relationships and marriages in the infant stage is so destructive. It is. It's like, just know who got the power and just fall in place. Basically, we'll pretend as long as you know the truth. That's it. That's all most people just need to do. So the gay men get their power from manifesting feminine energy. I will say this: if you know how they say you study the greats and become greater, or you study the greats, learn from the best. Da, da, da. If you're taking the masculine and the feminine, and you're saying, okay, well, it's almost like you become the child, because you become both. But at the same time, the power still came from the feminine, always. And it always will, because you can't create gay men without a female still. Okay? So it will always go back to the woman. Right. Anyway. There are YouTube channels teaching gay men how to get their man to do what they want by acting feminine. They know. Yeah, I already said that a long time ago. Back in 2017, 16, when I got that question. I think someone actually called and thanked me for it on one of my live videos. That's what they were doing. You said 50-50 doesn't work. Exactly. Either you do it all or I'll take it all. And then, also, if we really think about it, who are our first teachers? Who are the majority of elementary and preschool teachers? Women. Who's our first teacher? Women. So, you begin with the woman, you learn from women, you get nurtured from women, you get fed by women. I mean, it's just what it is. Then, men want to step in and teach you things about how to be a man if you're a man, if they're around. But the woman job starts from day one. And especially if you're a mother, you don't get no days off. Mm-hmm. Gender have some order, certain things, but it was when Aisha broke down Ocean Energy for you. Oh, I didn't watch that. Have you? You have never in your life been a male preschool teacher? Oh, you have never seen a male preschool teacher? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black women just date out or mix men overseas or other, so you won't have to argue with basic broke and bitter men in the hood. Mix up y'all dating habits. Don't fight with broke and dusty. Um, a lot of men from certain levels of poverty, I'll say, are under the illusion that are under an illusion as well. So I'll say this. I'll say when you're under an illusion and you don't know, and then you put a lot of blame on women, then that illusion gets bigger. And which means um, you're seeking power grows more toxic. And so when they try to get into a relationship with a woman and they don't know that the woman has the power, that illusion can create, you know, anger, animosity, not knowing the truth. And then it creates, like them ending up leaving because they can never get your power because it's not able to be given to them. And so they go try to seek it somewhere else and then somewhere else and then somewhere else. And when they finally settle down and give it up or give up and stay with one woman, it's because after all that time, they realize who got the power. That woman who they got with when they finally realized they didn't have no power to begin with. So, and usually that's the woman that defeats them as far as them knowing their true position in this world. And they may go out and cheat on that type of woman because they can't live up to her standards, or they don't, they feel like they settled because they are powerless. And they may go out to seek power from another woman who does not suspect them. But at the same time, they still got to go back home to wherever they're at. So when you know the power of who you are as a woman, as female, men, if you know it, if you live it, you speak it, and you walk it, men subconsciously know it too. And so there's less that you have to do. Some men are, like I said, under an illusion. Don't let them pull you into their illusion. Know who you are and stay who you are, and that is powerful. And the more powerful you are as a woman, the more you can, take them out of the illusion of patriarchal power. But they'll still be able to do what they want. It's just that they'll not be under that illusion anymore that they have the power. They'll still be masculine. They'll still fulfill their role as a protector and a provider and still be seen as head of household, but they won't be seeking your power subconsciously. They'll simply take their role. And as women who don't need to seek the power because we already have it, we don't need to exert our power over anyone unless it's time and because they forgot or they fell back into that illusion. So we won't have to do that. And most women don't, who find a man who knows. But then you have a lot of men who, are upset about that dynamic and they want to, make women feel as if they are less or do need them in some sort of way. Need and want are two separate things. Need and want are two separate things. So, no matter how men try to make you feel, women will always go back to their true power at some point and know and remember who they are. And it never really works. They can try, but it never works. You said go buy a dog and die alone. But why do we need to do that? Why can't we just... Most women die next to children and grandchildren and family. It's because they stuck around, they raised their family, they actually took responsibility. But most men who run off from pillar to pole, seeking power that they can never have, they die alone in some little 1-bedroom efficiency apartment or whatever by themselves. Or they die with someone who they settled for and didn't really want to be with in the first place. And that woman probably outlives them and gets their Social Security. So who cares? Most women outlive men. So I don't think women are too worried about dying alone. As many kids as y'all drop on us, we'll never be alone. And many grandkids they be having, I don't think we'll ever be alone. Shoot. Yeah. Men are most likely to die alone, though. Men have less visitors in nursing homes than women do. Let's just get it straight. Come on. So I don't know where you got that from, but I know it's out of anger and seeking of power that you can never have or get. We know. It's like a child who throws a temper tantrum when they can't get the candy. And the little aisle before you pay for groceries, okay? And you know that mama got all the power over whether you can have that candy or not. So you act a fool to try to get it, and you end up getting... I would never do that. I would give you the candy, but I wouldn't give it to you until you cleaned your room. Yeah, I'll buy it, but you ain't getting it till you clean your room. Take out that trash, whatever you got to do. I'll get you the candy, but you're going to work for it. So, yes, we have to realize that, parents have different ways of doing things. Women have different ways of doing things. Men seek power that they can never have. Women still hold the power. Men will chase a woman to get sex, but women will say, okay, well, you got to do this or this and that to get that. You still have the power. No matter what, the women always got the power, and they always will. He used to criticize your appearance 24/7. Well, you don't have to criticize something unless it's a threat. Unless he's trying to improve you in some way. Now, if it's constructive criticism to help you look better, then wonderful. But if it's just to be mean and rude, it's because he's trying to put you under the illusion that you are powerless in that department, which is why I do the level up. Girl, get your makeup. If you gonna argue with somebody, argue looking good, okay? Now what? This lipstick don't look good on me? This is boutique, by the way. I Level Up Cosmetics. What? This hair don't look good on me? That's not what your friend thought. Oh, this is look. Oh, you must be mistaken. You need to go to the optometrist, sir, because I know I look good. There'll be no argument there. He can't say it and it still be true if you out there looking good. Look good, feel good. If you all powerful, look good. I mean, you don't have to all the time. But when he open his mouth and try to say you don't look good, remind him, yes, you do. And so what else you got? You don't look good? I can look good when I feel like it. Oh my gosh. That's power. I can look terrible to you and good to that man over there with just a trip to the bathroom, 1 hour in the chair with my Level Up Cosmetics. Maybe I don't want to look good for you today, sir. Maybe you don't deserve to look at a beautiful woman today. Maybe you deserve to look at whatever I'm looking like at this moment. Have you ever thought about that? Because I have the power. And I know there are some women who are at that point, and then there are some women who are not at that point because they have not pulled their man out of the illusion yet. So that's when you got to walk around looking cute all the time. So when you do feel like you want to ever look ugly, they know that you can go get looking cute too. And when a man is allowed to see you at your worst, because they're going to see you at your worst at some point if you get married. They just are. When they've seen you at your worst, then they see your true power because they see how you can transform. They see how you can look plain and look fabulous. They see how you can switch things up. And that's powerful because they can't really do that unless they go drag. Or grow a beard. That's why men try to grow a beard. They trying to change up something. The only way a man can drastically change his look is growing a beard or losing weight or plastic surgery. That's it. Women can do that with products from the drugstore or from ordering online. We could do that. Men ain't got to go through whole beard growing, plastic surgery, extreme weight loss, and working out and sculpting. We put on a waist trainer, a wig, and some makeup, and bam. Someone's worshiping us. That has to be intimidating. Back in the old days, when women wore less makeup, it's because men knew their role. They didn't have to exert as much power because once the man tried to put the illusion of patriarchy on this world, women then began the illusion of being able to look a certain way when they want to. American women only make 2.5% of global population, but we, as American women, we are the major catalyst for everything that is created in this world. Remember that. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. We are what every other culture looks at as an example. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Bye. Why do you think they have a song called American Woman instead of what other country woman? They ain't got no other. They got California Girls and they got American Woman. What other, I don't know any other songs that talk about other countries of women. Okay, why? Because we know our power. We took it actually, and we broke the illusion, and that's why they mad. They got to go find somebody else who's under the illusion of patriarchy somewhere else. But y'all forget this channel is global. Okay. Y'all forget. I know you paid to say a little 2 cent, but 2.5%. But okay, and a lot of the wealth in the world is with the 1%, and that's who a lot of people are trying to get to that financial status of. Okay, the wealth. Everybody trying to be a billionaire, a millionaire. Why? Everybody looks at 2.5% of women on the planet who are American, and they see their style, how they wear their hair, how they look, with their whatever plastic surgery they get. I don't know. And then it becomes a trend. Why? Because we don't care and we do what we want. And our illusion of patriarchy is that we have that power of feminine power. Now, there are women in other parts of the world who are naturally more feminine in a submissive way to the illusion of male patriarchy. But American women are doing it in reverse. They are creating a feminine way of looking while taking away the illusion of patriarchal society. The proof is in the statistics, not your due. Okay, well, anybody can make up some statistics. You know where the proof is? That you have to pay $19.99 to show some type of power on my channel when we already know that without women, there are no men, period. And that the population of men statistically is decreasing because their purpose is decreasing. Why? Because they are not fulfilling it. Thank you, Brewhouse Sprinkle. How to deal with insecure men, attention seeker. Shatter their illusion. You have to shatter their illusion. You have to shatter their illusion by not trying to seek power from them or take anything as far as their masculinity is concerned. But instead, you must know that you are powerful already, and that anything that they're asking for from you, you hold the power to say yes or no. And sometimes you have to make them work for it. Or if you do give them something, then after when you give someone something, you don't seek something in return if you already are powerful, because you already have it, or you can get it from somewhere else. So, like I said, there's two types of women that either give and forget, or give after the man works for it. That's the only way. So insecure men often come from having to work too much to get something that they thought that they already deserved, because they don't feel the woman has power, because they're under the illusion of false patriarchy. Or they feel as if the woman who gave them something is supposed to continuously give them something, even though she felt as if, okay, you can have it, but then I'm on to the next. They feel as if they are now in a position of no power, because they have now felt what it feels like to be under the illusion of a matriarchal or patriarchal society. So they feel as if now they're being ruled by a woman, and when she wants to see them, when she wants to talk to them or not, which is the same illusion women are under when men feel like they have power. So it's almost like they get a taste of their own medicine and can't take it. That's where the insecurity comes from. Okay? It's however much you need. Sprinkle, however much you need to feel like you can be in that relationship, however much money you feel like you need. So, and things change. So it may be enough now, it may be enough in 10 years, but after that, they might need to up their levels. They feel like they don't have to reciprocate ever, right? So if you were, my Cash App's in the description bar. If y'all were curious. So women are often told, know your place. You're supposed to be this for a man. You're supposed to be that for a man. And you're supposed to shut up and go provide and protect us. Provide for and protect us in order for us to even think about letting you live in your delusion of patriarchal rule. Okay? Otherwise, we can shatter that in 2 seconds. Ask any man who's been divorced. How you doing? Players don't have seeds for us. So to nurture, not wanted updates here. You got a house. Ooh, in a salon. Sprinkle, sprinkle, girl. In relationship, that's right. You gotta get what you know that you deserve. If a man is going to waste your time and make you pretend like you live in the illusion of patriarchy, then you need to get something out of it too. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna live in this false reality of a male patriarchy, then we might as well benefit from it as well. I mean, you can't just get all the illusion. So, that's how we feel. That's how we feel. Now, there are societies that are matriarchal, and they're in that way of living. So men don't have a sense of control. They basically just do whatever one wants them to do and don't complain about it. And they're allowed to be in their masculine, but if they step out of line, they quickly remind it, You said women put our love out there by having babies and doing everything else for them. Exactly. Like, this is one of the reasons, and I keep telling y'all, this is one of the reasons I don't cook unless it's for my kids, because we don't eat the same things. Like, me and my husband don't eat the same. This is why I don't clean, and I hire people to clean. This is why I don't do lots of the stuff that takes my power. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna live in an illusion, because that's not my illusion. It ain't mine. The only way I would live in that type of illusion is if I had the best of everything. And if I have the best of everything that's provided for by that man, most likely he'll have the best of everything for himself. And I won't have to do a lot of those things that men deem that women are supposed to do, like cook, clean, wash dishes. They'll have a maid. And if they don't, one is coming soon. And if you have to rinse off a dish and put it in the dishwasher, and you got top of the line everything, whatever, then that's not a big deal. But at the same time, I'm not finna put no cheap stuff in no cheap dishwasher, and with no cheap dishwasher stuff, no cheap sponge, unless it's for my kids so they have a clean plate to eat. But I'm not gonna do it for no man to think that I'm in my place doing my role. That's not my role. Unless I'm getting paid for it and that's my job, then that's a different story. So I won't perpetuate the illusion of male patriarchy unless I have the best illusion that there is to experience. How you doing? Okay. I don't care if United States call me. I don't ever answer, so it don't matter. Y'all, United States is calling. What should I say? Y'all know that caller ID? United States. Hey, United States, how you doing? It don't even say of America. It just say United States. United States of who? Of where? Bye. There's also a majority of the opposite sex who just want to finesse the guy. So, well, where do you think they learned it from? They've learned under the false system of patriarchy. So how else are they supposed to get ahead? If you're learning, if you think society is patriarchal and you don't know you have power, and you feel that the man has power, and you feel that his power is his money, and you feel like your power is finesse, well, you still have more power. You just haven't realized it yet because you have nothing. You have no money. All you got is finesse. And you could get his money and still have your finesse. Wake up, baby. You have the power. You out there dripping in finesse. You said I'm married to a beta male? Married is key word. I know my power, and he's married to me. There's a difference. I don't have his last name. I never changed my last name because I don't conform to patriarchal society. I'm not under that illusion. Anyway, so ain't no man gonna give you money if he can't see your loyalty. So that should also go the other way around. Ain't no woman gonna give you no sex unless she wants to or can see your loyalty or your money, whichever one she's looking for. And women got options. So whichever one that you feel that you're looking for is the one that you play for. So if you're looking for money as a woman and you know what men are looking for, you can trick them, finesse them, Men do the same thing to women all the time. But the thing is that women leave with the money, the finesse. The man just leave with less money. See, there's a difference. We leave with something in our pocket. Y'all don't. So who won? Who got the power and the money? And that's why a lot of people disagree with me, because they still haven't realized that they live in a patriarchal illusion and that the woman holds the power. And until they realize this, until they know this, they're constantly going to be arguing with women and always losing. They're constantly going to have to start groups called Going Our Own Way or Red Pill or whatever. They constantly are going to have to start forming these groups of men to seek power because they don't have it already. Women already got this power. They don't have to make these little groups here and groups there to try to take something away from men. We already got it. We birth men. We marry men. We divorce men. We take men's money. And that's because we're female. Okay? And that's because we have all that power. Even Kanye West told y'all. Now y'all know I don't like bringing people up into this, but he don't mind. I don't think he. Even Kanye told y'all just weren't listening correctly. He said no one man should have all that power. Okay, so y'all should know. Anyway, he didn't say one man, he said woman. Yeah, I just didn't hear him correctly. But Kanye also got a chick richer than him. But now he's a billionaire. Because she allowed him. Okay, so Kim was rich. Then Kanye got rich from being with Kim because she allowed him a peek into her power dynamic. She said, look, this is how we getting paid over here. Okay? We ain't going out throwing temper tantrums on TV shows begging people to be taken seriously. We just do what we do because they will take us seriously if we aren't sitting out there begging for them to. Kanye, He's genius. Kim, women naturally have power. They ain't got to do nothing but just look good and do what they do. They don't have to prove anything. So after he got with Kim, he became a billionaire. He saw how things work on a different perspective. And he took what he learned and made himself somebody else. I'm saying, like, most men who are rich were with a powerful woman or a woman with some type of power. It could have been beauty, it could have been skill, it could have been sex, or whatever it was. They still got a glimpse and a taste of it and used it to create something for themselves. Now, when men are out here trying to say that they rule something, they don't rule anything except the seeking of power from women. That's the only thing that they can actually claim. So when they get a glimpse and a peek and they see how things work and they see how women operate and they see how that feminine side works, they start to implement it in their business or their way to do things. Where do you think the male player gets all his, where do you think the male player and pimp gets all their game from? A woman. They see how women can just step in somewhere and get the attention of the whole room, how they can step in with no money, eat and drink all night for free. They see how they flirt, finesse, make someone feel powerful when they don't have the power to get what they want. And then the player, the pimp, the male will go out and try to do the same thing in reverse to a woman who does not know her power. So men learn that not from the original person that could ever do that would have been a woman, always. The first seductress. Duh. So men think more on the logical, mathematical side of things, and they try to do everything in the correct order and what makes sense. But women don't need to do all that. They do whatever works. There's a difference. Like, I don't care if it makes sense. It worked. And so when men get a glimpse of that, when they see that power, they're like, dang, it don't even have to make sense. Okay, let me go Kanye. It don't gotta make sense. Oh, now we're talking. Women don't have to make sense. We don't have to go by statistics. We can create a statistic and put it on social media, and that false statistic will become the truth in about however long it takes a meme to go viral. So who cares? It don't have to make sense. It just has to work. And that's why women have this power, because it doesn't have to make sense. And we don't care if it do or not. We still gonna go with it. Men have this problem where things have to make sense. They gotta be in a correct order. They gotta rule. They gotta know the exact formula and the exact number, percentage of a statistic. Then make it up, baby. That's what we do. I make stuff up, and it's gonna be true because I want it to be true, and then it happens. So you know what? Learn from women, because we have the power. We are the original teachers anyway. So just zip it, sit back, get your notebook out, and y'all can thank me later. You said money does not equal leadership. It sure doesn't. Women need male leadership so they can have the logic in their lives. That's to keep the male patriarchy illusion going, so that both people can be happy. you know. So for example, there was, okay, think about the Genesis story in the Bible, and I don't really like to get religious, but every creation story is not logical. Go find me one logical creation story, and I'll wait. Did you even know that math was invented? Math is a creation as well. So honestly, every creation story does not make sense. Oh, but if you break it down scientifically, somebody created science. Still created. It ain't, there was, you know what I'm saying? So no matter, even logic is a creation that was made up to give the illusion that it is in some sort of order. And I'm getting too scientific on y'all. If you take a circle, there's no order in that circle. It just keeps going around and around. We don't know which point of the circle came first or last. We don't know. But if you take that circle and you stretch it out into a line, whichever point you chose to take that circle apart from is going to determine the beginning and the end. It may not be correct, but for those who are seeking logic and structure, it's going to be good enough for them. But as the woman who is the circle or the cycle, whatever point you take something apart at is only where your logic begins. Only. So it doesn't even matter. All logic is created. Too many high earning women out here not to show them some love now. Don't worry. What? The limit does not exist. Exactly. Ain't no limit. Shoot. It's just an illusion so y'all could think y'all actually figured out something. Okay, look. I'm a mathematician and I'm a scientist. Okay. I'm a creator. I created math science. Y'all just sitting there working it for no reason. Okay, y'all got giant chalkboards and whiteboards that y'all done spend 20 years trying to solve one problem that's already solved. Just so you can say you got logic. Okay, well, that's good for you. So I can prove that there is, gravity. Okay, drop something, there go the proof. Why you gotta write all these numbers down so you can feel important? Okay, as long as it helps you sleep at night and feel powerful, go ahead, baby. So, because people were building stuff and constructing stuff without calculus a long time ago. They didn't need that. They just knew how to put a nail and a hammer together and make something. Maybe they didn't need to know all the extras. They just knew. They just did it. So yes, we're glad that you have logic. We gave that to y'all. Because the brain really does not have two hemispheres. It's a brain, it's one organ. There's one medulla oblongata, which is at the brain stem. And in the middle, okay? So, you said the Wisdom of SheRaSeven, Volume 2. That's coming out soon? Yes, y'all know I'm working on it. Mm-hmm. You don't have a pair of brains. That's an illusion within itself. You got one brain. And because some person who drew a picture and wanted to label something left and right so that they could have some type of power and give this, the right side is more masculine. Okay, whatever, bye. Just like we got a right ovary and a left ovary, okay? Still ovary. You said, and who called a brain? Another human. Exactly. So, when you stop speaking logic, men stop talking. That's your power. They have no response because you cannot respond to something that you were not created to respond to. They have philosophy. Philosophy, this is a philosophy. Let's call this philosophy. Philosophy is not logical. And philosophy came from a matriarchal society. Okay? Make stuff up, then it becomes true. Yeah, exactly. See? Yeah. There's no logic to women. We just do what we want. That's power. Why do you think a lot of these artists now are looking more and more different, or I'll use the term eclectic, or they're not really caring what people think about how creative their looks are becoming. They're tapping into that feminine energy, that power. Philosophy is men arguing about an equation that can never be solved. Exactly. I'm just a fly on the wall. You have. So, if you are a woman and you feel as if you have no power, or that you lost your power, or that your power is somehow being taken from you, that is a lie, because it never can be touched. It can only be witnessed. That's it. So don't ever think somebody took something from you, because they didn't. They only witnessed it and reacted to it. That's it. I've witnessed your power and it made me feel this type of way, so I have to go do this and this now. For a woman who was under the illusion, she witnessed a man who thought she witnessed a man who was under the illusion of patriarchy, fell into that illusion, witnessed her own power, remembered herself, and took her position back. That's all. And who? Oh, Mimkey Sprinkle. She just became one of the members. Philosophy. Okay, I already read that. Y'all keep talking about remember the time. It's freedom to not have to have it all figured out. Exactly. And I've learned from men. Like, I'm not gonna down men. I've learned from watching men that I have power. So it's helpful still. Like, if you forgot, or if you were raised in a society that did not raise you to know that, all you got to do is watch men and pay attention what they pay attention to, what they're doing, because men naturally seek power. And so if you don't know, just watch. And then you'll see. Mm-hmm. Can I talk about Lilith? Oh. Lilith. Well, the story of Lilith is she wanted to be equal to Adam, or not have to submit to him. And he wanted her to submit, and she said, I don't think so. Bye. That's basically it. And then of course they painted her out to be evil because she did not want to submit to Adam. But see, then if you get into that whole story, it's not men and women. You could break that down and dissect that scientifically, metaphorically, or with men and women. One did not want to submit to the other. And the one that wanted woman to submit felt less powerful because they actually wanted to rule because they did not feel that they had power or enough power. Lilith never wanted to say, oh, I'm going to rule over you. She always satisfied with her power she had. I guess Adam wouldn't. I don't know. Could have been greed. It could have been a power struggle. Could have been lack of power. Who knows? But I don't know what it was. But she said, I can't do this. Bye. You said you have learned strategy from men and how to focus on the goal and not emotion. Exactly. But there would be no goal. You got to remember this. Yes, you focus on the goal. But at the same time, when you get to that goal, what are you going to feel? When you reach your goal, how are you going to feel? Or what are you going to feel? You're going to feel the goal, or you're going to feel the emotion of achieving the goal? If you only focus on the goal, you never get the satisfaction from getting to the goal, which is why you seek more power, which is why you will never have it, no matter how many goals you reach. So whenever I say, like when I write or talk about, feeling something as if you already have it, that's the same thing as reaching your goal and feeling the emotion. Even if you haven't got it yet, you know how it feels to have it. And so therefore, you're already vibrating that frequency. And so that means you're already on your way. And if you need to focus on the goal itself, remember the feeling of having reached it so that you can get there. A lot of people sabotage themselves because they're afraid of the unknown. And so if you don't know how it feels to reach the goal that you're trying to reach, then that becomes the unknown. And then you may self-sabotage. You may procrastinate. You may be afraid of that success because you don't know how it feels. So go feel it. You're 43, look good for your age. You still struggle. What is the ultimate mindset to not let society tell you you've hit a wall? There is no wall. A wall can be knocked down. A wall is built. A wall can be taken down. What wall? Sprinkle, sprinkle. A wall that society told you existed, but you don't see. Because this wall is invisible. And it's only there if somebody told you it was. So, wood wall, take a picture of it and send it. That's my answer. Okay. It's just like the illusion of patriarchy. What wall? I don't see no wall. What wall are you talking about? Y'all want to get scientific since y'all logical or quantum, y'all on the fourth dimension, you can see straight through walls, like on The Sims. What wall? If you're speaking of the illusion that they have put in front of you that you believe, stop believing it. Why would someone need to tell a 43-year-old woman that they've hit a wall? If the wall is, first of all, invisible, and they know it affects that woman emotionally, why would they need to say that? What would be the point of even opening your mouth to say that to someone if they've actually hit a real wall? When you hit a wall, you know you hit the wall, baby. You done fell because you bumped into it and you fell backwards, and you see a wall. And the wall is in your view. Nobody got to tell you you done hit a wall if you really hit one. I promise you. If you driving and you hit a wall, nobody gonna have to tell you. I promise. It's sad you can't put comment you're a member long time, but you have to have new. You just put the comment, sprinkle, sprinkle. See, you worked. It worked out for you. Mind game to control you. Yeah, exactly. When you hit a wall, you won't know. Okay, I promise. Nobody has to tell you you hit a wall. You will know. Dang, I hit the wall. If you don't know that, then you didn't hit it. I seen this old lady outside this morning. She had on some like cute gym clothes and some purple hair, and she was old. She was probably in her 60s, but she ain't hit no wall. Not in her mind. So let her keep going. Okay. She ain't hit nothing. If a man got to come and tell you that you hit a wall and you don't know for yourself that you hit something, then obviously it's a trick. You don't see women going up to men and telling them they hit walls or whatever. The only time women do that is when a man feels that they're worthy of them, but they're not. And they try to reject them as nicely as they can. But when the man doesn't take the rejection or get the clue, then they have to really get blunt and tell them the truth as to why they don't want to be with them. So men try to beat you to the punch by telling women, oh, you've hit the wall. Okay, well, when I hit the wall, I'm sure I'll know. I don't need you to tell me something that has not happened. Okay. Oh my gosh, you've hit the wall. You're not this, you're not that. And you are? Are you, sir? If you are, please let me know. And I still don't want you. Right. Women don't go around having to tell people stuff to make them lose their confidence. Women don't go around telling men, oh, you hit the wall or you did it. They're just describing the position that the man accepted. They're not describing their potential. Okay. How to stop feeling insecure for a lady? You mean as a woman or as a man? Like, because that question is kind of written weird. How to stop feeling insecure. Don't allow people to make you feel that way. Feel how you choose to feel. No one is over that. Like, no one gives you permission to feel how you want to feel. Feel like you want to. If you don't want to feel that way, don't feel that way. Find something that makes you feel like you want to feel. Do whatever that is until you don't feel that way anymore. That's all you got to do. I don't feel insecure unless I'm focused on something that is meant to make me feel insecure. But then I remember I have power, and most of the things that are created to make women feel insecure are the illusion of male patriarchy. Then I say, oh, whatever. And I choose what I feel insecure about and what I don't feel insecure about. It could change, but that's my power. And even if I do feel insecure of it, if I see it, I can point it out and remember it's an illusion of male patriarchy. Oh, that's just an illusion of male patriarchy. Girl, don't forget that. So, yeah, it's an illusion of male patriarchy. Now, will changing that part about you make you feel less insecure in the illusion of male patriarchy? Or shall we say the matrix, the fake matrix? It's kind of like that. It's like when Neo was running from the agents and then he turned around, remembered his power, and stopped them bullets. It's the same thing. It's like, why am I running? Am I afraid or am I insecure that the agents are more powerful than me? No, I have all the power, and this is an illusion. Bam. So they have no more power, and there's nothing to be insecure over. Why? Because it's an illusion. It's their made up way to feel the power that you naturally already possess. That's it. So, for example, let's say this. Let's say, you know, the virtual reality games, and I guess you could be somewhere that you're not. You put the little goggles on, right? They may have games that have like, oh, this is your home, this is your land, this is your new car, and you don't really have those things in your real life. But when you put these goggles on, you got them, right? It's an illusion. So if you were born with these goggles on your face, and you think you got this, and you think you got that, or you think this, that, when you take them goggles off and you see that you only have whatever you got, you might be upset. You might spend a lot of time with those goggles on. But it's an illusion. And so when the man takes off those goggles and the woman has all the power, it's a little bit upsetting. So they tend to want to put those goggles back on and give you a pair of goggles and live in that fake patriarchal illusion. And you can operate in both at the same time if you're smart and mention things. Oh, you know what? When we finish playing this game, I gotta do something in the real world. Or when we finish pretending, you'll say certain things that will remind him of your power. Like women do all the time. Like, oh, I have so many great creative ideas. Or, oh, my friend's pregnant with twins. And, you bring them back to the reality that you are their creator. Period. You are their reason for being here on earth. You are the reason that they're here. Okay. So you quickly remind them that their illusion is fake. And you keep your power. Even if you have to operate in the illusion, you know your power. Because I'm sure they're not giving birth in their illusion still. They still ain't giving birth in their patriarchal illusion. I mean, they've made movies about it, but it's fiction. All right. How do you deal with other women flirting with your husband? He ignores them, but still annoys the girl. I mean, I really wouldn't know because unless like a long time ago that used to happen, but like I could care less. Like it doesn't bother me at all. Like I don't care, whatever. Because I know my power. If you can do the same thing, then what's the point? Who wants a man who is a millionaire? So who wants a man? Thumbs up and share this one for sure. Yay. Also, like, think about this too. A man can do whatever it takes to get a bunch of money, right? Because I've heard women, I've talked to women. Oh, he's got a lot of money, but I'm not attracted to him. He's boring. A, B, C, and D. Blah, 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 blah. They act, so I don't care. He's got money. Don't you want money? If you want money, that's what you're after, then are you really just after money? Do you want something more? Okay, so, well, I guess, okay, so either you're going to have to find someone else or have more than one if you're not having, if you're not getting what you want. So women need to know what they want when it comes to getting a man, especially if they want one that's going to give them money or want money. Because women are not always just after the money. Sometimes they're like, okay, after I got the money, that was easy. But now I have to deal with this person and they're boring. So sometimes that's what it's about in the beginning. And once they've accomplished that, just like when a man has gotten the woman in the bed, then it becomes more, then they want more. So it's the same with women. Like, don't get mad if you're a man and you say, oh, I have money, but now the woman is not responding like she used to. Well, just the same way as when after you sleep with a woman, you don't respond the same way because there's more that they want. So it works both ways. You can't get upset because, a lot of women say, this man is ugly and he's cocky and he acts like, I was like, that's because some women just wanted the money and that was it. You want money plus someone with a personality. So either you're going to have to go get another one or leave that one, or put them in their place. I don't know. So a lot of women feel like after they get the money, then they want more from that man that can't give that to them. So they get, they just go get another one. How do you get over your own mistakes and not being perfect? See what time it is. Perfect is a creation of an individual mindset. And you want to get deep because you can design as many cars as you want. Which car is perfect? Okay, take one person and to look at 5 cars. Which car is perfect to that one person? Now take that person out of the room and bring in a different person and ask the same question. Which car is perfect? If you bring in a certain amount of people, they're all going to pick a different car as perfect. So all the cars are perfect, but none of them are at the same time. It's a paradox. Perfection is a paradox, which means it is, but it's not. But still, perfection exists. You see? So if you're trying to like, oh, I forgive myself for doing something wrong, same thing. Bring 5 people in the room, ask them if the action was wrong. You're going to get yes. You're going to get no. You're going to get different answers from different people. So some people will laugh and say, y'all are so silly. Why are y'all wasting my time? Some people take an action or something that feels wrong to the point of they feel so guilty about it and they beat themselves up over it. And then some people don't. So it just depends on how you feel about it. If I feel wrong about something, I'll feel wrong about it, and I'll feel it, and that'll be it. Then I'm on to something else, like what's next? What else do I have to focus on? But that's it. Imperfections make you perfect. How is that wrong? There's no such thing as perfect because everything's going to be something for another person. Whatever perfect to this person will not be perfect to the next person. But to someone, they're perfect. So there you go. If we are what I call groupthink, or having a big group of people to agree that something is perfect, it's never going to happen. Somebody lied. Somebody just copying the next person. Somebody is just saying the wrong thing on purpose because they're trying to be silly. Someone don't even care. So you're not even getting an accurate count of what's perfect, because everyone is just following the next person because they're of how they feel. You're not going to get around about image of perfection, okay? Unless it's forced and pushed on society. You're not going to get that. Because as soon as someone else creates an example of perfection, it's all going to change. Someone else with more influence and popularity can create a whole different look of perfection, and the former look of perfection is shattered. So it doesn't matter. Everybody's perfect and nobody's perfect. It's a paradox. Depends on who is creating the illusion. That's what it meant. That's what makes perfection. Whoever creating that illusion, that's what it is. I make no sense. Or y'all talking to each other. Okay. So and then you also have to think about what makes a perfect person. Is it how they look? Is it how healthy they are? Is it a combination of both? Is it their pH balance? What is it? What's the matter? I don't know why she's arguing with me in the comments. Oh, I don't know. People argue in the comments because they just like having interaction, maybe. And men have to realize that women don't have to make sense to be correct. And when y'all realize that, y'all life will get a lot easier. Just accept it. It is what it is. Women do not have to make sense to be correct. And don't think that they do, because that's where you'll go wrong. I shattered your entire horror in your mind in the span of a few sentences. Okay. All right, it doesn't matter. So you say you're gonna start throwing riddles. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He says, validate yourself, love yourself. What is your self-talk like? Be kind to yourself. And like even though on that level of consciousness where you have to validate yourself, talk nice to yourself, I do say that that's true. And that is when you are on your way to realizing your power. And the level above that is where you know your power and you no longer have to do those things. But sometimes you fall back into the illusion and you do have to do those things again until you get back up to that level where you know your power. So, um, whatever it takes, that's what I say. Go do that. You said this man want power over your comment section. Sir, if you want power over our comment section, go get a channel. There you go. um, I don't know. People also say that men are naturally competitive, more so than female, right? Why? We all know that. Why are men naturally competitive? Why do they always want to prove their power? There you go. When you are not, but it's also for a reason too, like because you have to compete to please your woman. You got to compete with yourself to please your woman. What can I do better than I did yesterday? How can I improve on what I need to do? How can I make more money? How can I be a better provider and protector? How can I be a smarter man so that I can feel as if I, have other things going besides providing and protecting this woman? Now, what can I do to make myself feel as if I do have, something for me? That's all. Like I was telling you guys, the perfect example of that powerful female dynamic and a man who doesn't feel emasculated, but also still thrives in his masculinity and is seen as head of household, even though he probably ain't, is Morticia Adams and Gomez. Like, we all know who got the power in that family. But since Gomez has all his hobbies, his nice clothes, his fencing, he's not distracted to compete against his wife or to try to take her power because he has his own thing going. He's enjoying his situation. He's enjoying his ability to provide and protect, and he knows his purpose. He's not out there trying to take power from a woman or to be a woman. He's just having his moments and being in his role. That's it. So we don't have to do that. We just have to know who we are. And even like I said, even a child knows. And they don't really try until they get to a certain age where they're almost an adult. They don't really try to fight against you when they know you have that power. They know how to get you. They know how to put the face on, the tone of voice, how to ask for something, how to do that. They know how to use their ways to get what they want. And when we can do that and not threaten someone's power or try to take advantage of someone's power, then that's when everything works out. Mhm. You said people, you said you see the way low vibrational people will involve themselves in something which has nothing to do with them. Well, they feel like they gotta be a part of something. Maybe they'll learn. Hmm. And another thing is, I think when I first started this channel and I was talking about certain things, I was not talking from the power um, perspective. I was just noticing things and saying what I see, and and what women should have, and how things have been reversed, and da 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 da. And a lot of people started watching my channel, or and then a lot of women started listening and saying, "Hey, that's right." But a lot of men were upset because their illusions got shattered, and that was it. Like, I, it's not my fault. I didn't create the illusion. I didn't do that. I just broke it. That's all. So what's so bad about that? I mean, y'all love the movie The Matrix, and he shattered the illusion. But if Neo was the woman, and y'all be mad. So I don't know. It's to shatter the illusion. Shattered. So the only reason Neo was out there fighting was for Trinity anyway. He didn't care. For the woman, because she has the power. Mm-hmm. You said you can confirm you have women who is bladder than She-Ra herself. What about you? That's so silly. Still trying to compete. Y'all are silly. The best, like if I was a man, I wouldn't be comparing women. I'd be comparing bank accounts. I mean, because you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if I were a man, I wouldn't be talking about who can get what. I'm talking about where's your money. Let's compare bank accounts, sir. I don't care about what kind of women you can get. See what kind of money you can make. Then I'll know what kind of women you can really get. Okay. All right. But that's just me. Yeah. Y'all are so silly. And see, another thing that men try to make you feel as if you are a property of them. You can't be property when you created them. Okay? You can't be the property of nothing that you created. Remember that always. This is why I don't have the last name of someone's that I married. That's why I don't have the last name of my husband, because I'm not a property. Okay. I'm not gonna take nobody's last name. I mean, other than the name I'm born with, if I wasn't born with it, and still I can change it legally if I chose. But what I'm saying is, men do not own women. It's the other way around. Because when we push you out of our wombs, and your name is on a birth certificate or whatnot, and we got a sign saying we take ownership of you to take care of and raise you up, and that you are under our care, and we are responsible for you. You don't own us; we own you. In a sense, when you get married and you sign that license, that marriage license, with your name next to her name, it is a license. What do you need a license for to be married? That's so that you can be equal to the woman, not the other way around. That's the illusion. The woman has to give you permission. That's why you got to ask the woman to marry you. You got to be like, will you marry me? That's why the man got to ask. Because when you sign a marriage license, that's giving the man equality to the woman's, but not total equality. So nobody owns nobody. It's up to the woman to take the last name, which I wouldn't. And it's giving the man permission to be in that woman's space as far as legal is concerned. So still, you don't own nobody, even if you're married to them. The women have the power. It's the illusion that the man has the power. Why do you think they wear wigs? Back in the old days in Parliament, well, they still wore wigs in Parliament. Back in the old days in them George Washington days, why do you think they wore wigs and long hair and makeup and stuff? It's the aspect of the goddess. So you say you see a lot of hyphenated last names. I didn't even bother with the hyphenation. I'm like, just nope. Mm-hmm. So, we're under the illusion that we are powerless when all the signs point to that we are the most powerful. When you have to be under an illusion of something, but all the answers are right there in your face, but you choose not to pay attention to them. When you finally do see them, when you finally do see like your power, it all starts to make sense. Okay, oh, we got the Statue of Liberty. It's a woman. Oh, we have, America, that's the feminine aspect. Oh, we have cars that are named after women. We name boats after women. We name everything powerful after women. Mother Earth, all these things, like, because that's where the power is. Mm-hmm. But it's a secret. Don't tell nobody because it'll shatter the illusion. Okay. Well, if you shatter the illusion, then what? Then you know who you are and you don't have to worry. And you have the confidence to do what you want to do in this world. And that's it. Whoever tries to take it away from you or down you or get mad at you because you didn't figure it out, oh well. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the illusion. And figure out why the illusion exists in the first place. Was it for y'all? Is it a gift? Could be. Because it seems as if we can function in this illusion and still be successful. But maybe the men could not function in the patriarchal world. I mean, the matriarchal world, and be as successful without this false illusion. So if the false illusion allows you to go out there and get more because you think you're powerful, then go ahead, baby, and bring it home to mama. Okay, but don't forget, that illusion could be snatched at any moment. This is a gift that keep on giving. Exactly. Don't make the woman snatch your illusion. That's what happens to a lot of men. They forget, and the woman snatches their illusion away. If a woman makes it hard for men to be successful, matriarchs believe it will take no longer than 249 years for men to get back in power. No, it will take no longer than 249 years for women to recreate the false patriarchal society so that their man can have purpose and go out there and do something. Under the false illusion that they're just going to bring it home to their wife or their woman or whoever they want some sex from or whatever. It's that's all it is. Okay, these men know that their only purpose is for us, so let's make an illusion to make them think that they're doing more. All right, there you go. Ooh, look at these nice buildings y'all done did. That's a good job. Ooh, look what y'all done created a car. That's nice. Oh my gosh, men, without men, whatever would we do? Look at this. Hercules. It would only take that long for us to have to recreate the illusion because y'all have become less motivated. So who do you think created that illusion? It wasn't men. It was women because men got less motivated. And if men enjoy that illusion and they created it even further, then they think they created it when it was really the woman who created it because the man was like, there must be more to life than this. Okay, well, I guess we'll help you out so you can keep doing what you got to do. For real. Back in the old days, you know what they used to do? Because they didn't have no TV. They didn't have anything but nature. You know, so they just made up stories. Then people started living by the morals of these stories, and then the illusion began. Women make it hard for men to be successful. No, they don't. You said the United States called you to? Women don't make it hard for men to be successful. Men are under an illusion that they forgot their purpose, you know. Provide, protect. Oh, you want more? Okay. We'll give you some options. But you must provide and protect in order to enjoy these options. But then they get stray. They stray off that path and then they'll start looking at things for other reasons. Like, why are you here? You know, did you forget why you were here? Is the woman really hard to provide for and protect? Or did you get off track? Did you fall too deeply into the illusion and you forgot your purpose? So I don't know. This could sound very one-sided, but if the planet is getting more female and there's less men being born, what does that tell you? To me, it's saying your role is less relevant at this time because you forgot your purpose. Okay? So, Lion King, baby. Go watch Lion King. There you go. Don't be like Simba and got lost and eating worms and bugs with Pumbaa and Timon, was it? A rat and a pig? Yeah. Don't forget what your purpose was. Like, Simba, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Providing and protecting for your family. You gotta come home. Yeah. Hakuna Matata is an illusion. Okay. There you go. There you go. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I gotta go. Hopefully this helped somebody. And if it didn't help somebody, if you still continue to forget who you came from, where you came from, and your purpose, and you still want to control something or create the illusion of control, it doesn't matter because once a woman knows her power, she will never forget it. No matter how much you try to change her, how much you try to brainwash her, no matter how much you try to rule over her or have a false sense of power, she will never forget because it is always there and it can never leave. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So, you can try, but you can't ever do that. Because power is power. and you cannot destroy power ever. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.